All right, you may or may not have seen a race that we're going to show you from last Saturday at Penn National. And every once in a while, you're going to goof. We do it all the time, and jockeys do it every once in a while. Watch this. This is jockey Julio Hernandez. This is a 1.5-mile race. He picked up the mount late, so we give him that, you know, he was a pickup mount, and he obviously didn't know that it's a 1.5 miles. They're turning for home, but they're not. There's still another lap after this. Watch.
Another 3.5 lengths then to Plated inside third. To the outside then, Texas Zip in the fourth spot. 3.5 more to Maserati, joined by Fest Up. And at the back, Fleet Street and E-Biscuit. They come to the finish line the first time, and Big Feet is well clear, but hey, he's got 7 furlongs to go yet. And apparently might have been a bit of misjudgment there as Big Feet was eased up by the rider there. And it is Halton Gully continuing, and Big Feet's now going to be taken out of the action. Halton Gully moves through to take over. Plated now second. Texas
So he thought he won the race, and now he can see, wait, all these other horses are still going. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and they're not machines. They're not, it's not like you're playing a video game. They don't have a start and stop button that you can push. How many times a day do I say something or do you say something where I'm like, I really put my foot in my mouth right there, especially when we're on live TV. So, you know, I feel when there's someone out there that makes a mistake, because this happens in our business every day, at least a few times a day. There's something that you said where you're like, wow, that wasn't the right wording, or I probably just butchered that, or I'm not the most eloquent person in the world. So when you see a mistake like that, you laugh, but you kind of, you go, okay, I can feel with them. And one thing in this sport, Dave, that I've learned very early on in my life, you have to have a sense of humor. If you don't, you are not going to make it very long in horse racing, because there's a lot of losing going on. You got to be able to laugh at a mistake of yours. You got to be able to kind of get over things pretty easily. That's one thing I still work on each and every day. I'm just
Wondering if the trainer had a sense of humor when he went to the jockey after the race and said, dude, what were you doing? My main question is, if it was only a one-turn race, 5 furlongs or 5.5, you wouldn't have gone 26-3 on that opening quarter, though, you know? So it was like, oh, well.
Yeah, and you could see he really did think the race was over. He was asking the horse. He went to the whip a couple times late in the stretch. So, again, we see this happen with fans at the racetrack all the time. When there are 1.5 mile races, like the Cougar the second down at Del Mar is the one race that I always think when you're there, they go like they're going to cross the stands for the first time, and everybody starts cheering and they start raising their tickets thinking they had the winner. We just don't see it happen very often with a jockey making a misjudgment. Sometimes we see it in baseball when they think there's 2 outs or there's not, you know, there's an extra out and they make a mistake in the field, or I've seen the outfielders catch a ball with 1 out and then throw it to the fans.
Right.
And not realizing that there's a runner on base and they have to throw it. So it happens when you do things as many times as we do. You're going to make a mistake.
And it's the chart caller's job to describe the action. Here's what he had put. Big Feet showed speed from the outset, was put to a drive before going a 1/2 mile, was eased up after the jockey misjudged the race distance by 7 furlongs after passing the finish line for the first time, then fell back steadily and was eased.
So it's just telling you what happened, right?
Misjudged the finish line by a lap.
Yeah.
But it's not the first time, and it's not the last time. There's a race at Turf Paradise called the Asa La Vista Handicap where it happened a few years ago, too, and same exact thing. You just, you know.
It happens.
One of those things.
Just one of those days.